yourself, concerning yourself. Malacanang just said to Duterte supporters that they should also encourage you to come back to the Philippines and face the arrest warrant from the House of Representatives. Sir, what do you say to this?
I cannot come home. I have to defend my president as a member of the List Council of the ICC at The Hague. Yan naman po ay alam na ng lahat na sa mulat-mula. Una po, ako yung kauna-unang Pilipino na naging miyembro ng Peace Council. Ngayon po, 5. 3 doon sa 5, 2 doon ay dati kong kasama. In fact, that my 2 former partners are representing the victims. Kaya po kami naghiwa-hiwalay sa law office. Partners opted to represent the victims. And after my stint as spokes, of course, I said, I've already been advising the President on ICC even when I was spokes. And I can confirm that as early as 2019, I've been advising him on ICC matters. So, kinailangan po kami maghiwa-hiwalay as a law office and as legal partners. No? So, I'm sorry, I cannot come home. I have to defend my president.
And as a follow-up to that, lang, no, my question, are you saying, attorney, that you are willing to face the case after this entire thing?
Well, nakabinbin po ang aking petisyon sa Korte Suprema para ideklarang labag sa saligang batas yung investigasyon na ginagawa nila at walang basihan yung paghingi ng mga dokumentong hinihingi sa akin. Paulit-ulit ko naman pong sinasabi, hindi ko po tinatakasan yan. Inaasahan ko naman po na magdedesisyon ng Korte Suprema at susunod tayo sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema. Ulitin ko po fake news po yung sinasabi nilang pugante ako dahil ang pugante po ay tumatakas sa isang arrest warrant na inisyu ng isang hukuman. Ang arrest warrant po ng inisyu ng Kongreso ay para lamang sa isang resource person para dumalo sa isang pagpupulong at magsumiti ng mga dokumento. Wala po akong ginawang krimen na naging basihan para sa pag-issue ng warrant of arrest ng lehislatura.
And before ko po ipasa kay Gretchen, I think she has a question. My final question is how the Vice President is also reacting to updates at home regarding additional names na involved daw sa reimbursement ng funds ng OVP.
I've not had any opportunity to confer with her on this matter, pero consistent naman ang sinasabi niya, no? 125 in intelligence funds cannot be discussed publicly at nag-issue na po na ang qualified opinion ng COA. So ibig sabihin, everything was above board.
Okay. Attorney, paano po kung mag-file ng extradition request ang Pilipinas para kayo po ay mapauwi?
Well, I'm formally announcing that after our meeting today, I'm filing formally for asylum here at the Netherlands. As soon as my application of asylum is received, I do have the rights to non-refoulement. Non-refoulement under international law means, number 1, non-deportation until matapos yung investigasyon if I'm entitled to asylum status, and number 2, prosecution for illegal entry. Pero legal naman ang pagpasok ko dahil meron akong visa. Pero naniniwala ako na yung warrant of arrest ng Kamara de Representante ng WAD Committee ay mapapatunay ng unjust prosecution. Kasi dito sa Europa, unheard of yung isang warrant of arrest na indefinite ang lifetime, number 1. Number 2, walang bail. So, at number 3, malinaw naman yan na ito isang investigasyon sa Pogo na nais nilang talagang i-link si dating Presidente Rodrigo Roa Duterte, no? At malinaw na sa tingin ko ang political motivation behind the investigation on the Pogo dahil ang sinasabi ng WAD Committee, si Presidente raw ang nag-legalize ng operation ng Pogo even if it has always been there, no? Since time pa ng Aquino government, no? So I am confident that I can prove political persecution through unjust prosecution ng WAD Committee.
When was that filed, attorney, yung application for asylum, and how long do you expect that to be acted upon?
Well, I'm filing it immediately after our meeting. Okay, so I'm heading in the afternoon. The place of filing is medyo malayo, 3 hours, so I expect to spend the night there. And there's a whole procedure that I need to comply before they give me proof that I am an asylum seeker and a temporary residence in the Netherlands as soon as they receive my application for asylum.
Okay.
Ano pong korte?
I'm sorry?
Sa Dutch courts po ito?
Hindi, it's just the parang counterpart of the Commission on Immigration and Deportation. Ang tawag
You came
nila
from Dubai,
INS.
attorney.
Ano pong tawag, sir? Ano pong tawag?
INS ang tawag, INS.
Well,
INS.
do you have the complete name?
O, ano ba yung complete name na yung INS?
Sige, we'll just Google.
Oo, Google na lang.
Pero ibig sabihin, attorney, you came from Dubai as reported in the Philippines.
Well, I don't have to answer that, please. Ang alam ko is I don't have a warrant of arrest, I don't have a whole departure order, and I can only confirm I'm now in the Netherlands.
Secretary?
Just a follow-up, sir, on the question of Gretchen. Ito po kasi galing sa kay Congressman Barbers. Can you just kindly respond to this? I understand that you're filing your asylum, pero ito lang, ang sinasabi niya, may standing contempt order pa rin ang Quadcom sa inyo at sa misis ninyo. Kaya dapat mag-report ang Bureau of Immigration sa Quadcom kung paano kayo nakalabas ng bansa at saan kayo dumaan. Would you care to respond to this? Tapos sabi niya, kabilang lang dito, and let me quote, habang nasa ibang bansa si Roque, hindi siya pwedeng hulihin. They agree to this kasi jurisdictional ang contempt order ng Quadcom. Pero pag nasa Pilipinas si Roque, kailangan i-serve sa kanya ang detention order ng Quadcom. Nilinaw ni Barbers na hindi ito panggigipit, pero isa rin kayo sa mga abogado ni Duterte sa The Hague bago raw maaresto si Duterte na contempt na ng Quadcom kayo. Kaya dahil sa pambabastos sa mga patawag ng komite at sa investigasyon nito, wala raw itong kinalaman sa pagiging ICC accredited lawyer po ninyo o pagiging abogado ni Duterte. Kaya baka raw nag-i-imagine lang kayo ng mga ganitong dahilan. Sir, please.
Wala naman akong binabanggit na may relasyon yung WAD committee at yung panunupil sa akin, no? But the reality is, sa mulat-mula, alam nyo naman lahat na iilang Pilipino lang ang nasa list council ng ICC. At alam nyo namang naroon ako. Pangalawa, sa mulat-mula, ako po'y spokesperson pa. Yung first time pa ako naging spokesperson, as early as nagkaroon ng international report na merong nag-iisip na magsampa ng reklamo laban kay Presidente Duterte, ako na po talaga ang exclusive advisor ni Presidente Duterte and ICC. Unfortunately, nawala nga po ako sa gobyerno at nawala na po yung aking lead, kumbaga, in advising the President on the ICC. Everything happened when I no longer headed an interagency committee dealing with the ICC issue. And I think things happened after I resigned as spokes to run as senator in 2022, and all initiatives were pursued by then DOJ Secretary Maynard, later on OSG, as well as ES Medellea. So doon natapos yung aking, kumbaga, active involvement on advising the President on ICC matters dahil nangampanya na nga po ako. No? So hindi po nila mapagkakait na ngayong naririto na ang kaso ni Duterte, iniisip ko isa sa dahilan kung bakit nila ako ginigipit ay para mawalan ng legal representation ng Presidente. Now, totoo po na marami namang nasa list council. Pero wala na pong ibang list council member siguro na pamilyar sa Batas Pilipinas, Batas International, at yung political context ng pagsasampa ng kaso ito. So, 5 lang pong Pilipino yan, yung 2, counsel for the victims, di ko po kakilala kung sino pa yung 2, but I don't think Barbers can deny na sa mulat-mula, pinalano nila talaga ang pagpapadala dito kay Presidente Duterte para mawala ang tinik sa kanilang mga buhay na magkaroon ng Marcos Forever. Kung matatandaan nyo po July of 2022, nag-briefing kami sa Malacanang. Pinabayad ko si Presidente Duterte ng 20 pesos para hindi ako makapagsalita sa labas kung anong pinag-usapan. Pero alam naman po natin yan tungkol sa ICC yan. At sinabi niya, hindi makikipagtulungan. Pero as early as August, meron ng kontrang statement si Justice Secretary Remulla as relayed to me by Reuters. In fact, it was not featured prominently in the Philippine media, and it was Reuters that asked me to comment. Abay, iba na po sinasabi, mere 1 month after the President declared that we will not cooperate. At alam niyo naman yung sinabi na ni Secretary Remulla, which is now consistently what he has been saying, that nagkaroon daw ng red notice, they have to cooperate, which is of course not true. Siguro
Attorney Roque, one more thing.
Secretary Henry Uric sa DCRH.
What is the morale of the president, of the former president at the detention center? Kumusta ang moral po niya?
Ang sabi ni Vice President Duterte, na promote ko na, no? Ni Vice President Duterte ay mukha namang in high spirit siya. At ang sabi nga niya, pinauuwi siya ng pilit ng tatay niya. Dahil sabi niya, umuwi ka na at magtrabaho ka sa Pilipinas, no? So, tatay pa rin and very concerned about the Philippines pa rin.
Pero Secretary, nakakakain ba siya? Nakakainom ba siya ng gamot? Wala ba siyang iniindang sakit? Nakakatayo ba siya mag-isa? Paano ang kanyang pamumuhay ngayon sa loob ng kulungan na mag-isa?
Ulitin ko, Henry, hindi ko pa siya nakikita. Nakakita lang sa kanya, once si E.S. Medaldea, once si VP Sara, and today at 9 o'clock, si Executive Secretary Medaldea rin, former Secretary Medaldea, no? So ako, I can only rely on what VP Sara has said, no? VP Sara said na okay naman daw si Presidente, medyo nung time na binisita niya, hapon na, isang meal pa lang ang sinerve sa kanya, hindi masyado nakain ni Presidente ang Dutch food. Pero pinaghandaan na raw siya ng kanin. Okay? Now, let me tell you about the detention facility. Kahapon kasi, I had lunch with the Dutch National. Itong detention facility po is not exclusively for the ICC. It is an international detention facility being run by the Dutch government. And in fairness, they refer to it as the Hilton Prison. Kasi wala siyang rehas. It's a compound. It's like a dorm, I guess. No, walang rehas. They're free to move about. And quality of food naman is hindi masama. Kaya lang daw, syempre, it's Dutch food. No? And they have accommodated President Duterte's preference for rice. So, ang tawag po dito sa Europe ng detention facility being run by the Dutch government, but it's an international detention facility na merong particular wing we serve for the ICC is Hilton Prison. Pero I also need to underscore this, no? Siya po ngayon ay nandun sa, kumbaga, parang clinic ng facility na yon, no? Dahil he is still being monitored, no? Ang problema nga kasi, nagkulang siya ng gamot talaga. And although alam ng mga doktor ang gamot doon, ang aking huling narinig is they are providing him with substitute medicine. Kaya nga po kagabi, nag-deliver kami ng totoong medicine niya with letter and prescription para makita nila na hindi na dapat substitute medicine ang bigay, kung hindi, yun talagang mga gamot na ni Presidente.
Secretary, isa lang. Secretary, ano ang tsansa? Ano ang tsansa?
Raise your hand. Henry, you have the floor. Go.
Yes, Secretary. Ano ang tsansa na siya ay mapauwi ng maaga at yung binabanggit ninyong motion, kasama ba na ma-dismiss ang kanyang kaso considering the fact dun sa sinasabi ninyo na illegal ang pagkahuli sa kanya at hindi siya nabigyan ng due process?
Again, no, dahil I'm working with another lawyer, at least one other lawyer actively, it would be improper for me to say something without conferring with him. Pero nakapagsalita naman ako na hindi tayo uuwi na hindi kasama ang Presidente Duterte. So let's just say that our prayers is that he will be released at the soonest time possible, and we will take all steps necessary para mapauwi siya sa lalong mabilis na panahon. Now, siguro naman, I'm not in breach of confidentiality if I will tell you, malinaw yung proseso sa Article 59 ng International Criminal Court Rome Statute. At malinaw na hindi yan nasunod. So, ang mangyayari ngayon ng issue, sapat ba yon para mawala ang jurisdiction ng hukuman? Yan ay pagdidesisyonan ng hukuman kasi hindi naman nila talagang pwedeng ipilit na naiharap siya sa isang lokal na hukuman. Okay?
May mga nagsasabi na baka pwedeng mag-petition na i-house arrest na lang sa kanya o interim arrest. Pwede ba yun?
Again, as I said, hindi na po, well, of course, ang interim arrest, hindi natin palalampasin yan. But other than yan ay karapatang hingi ng isang akusado sa ICC, wala muna po na akong sasabihin dahil it would be unprofessional of me to speak without having conferred with my co-counsels. Okay?
Thank you, Secretary.
Yan. Okay, go. Next, si Jason
Current,
Jason Rubrico has the floor.
Request lang tayo, attorney, sana mag-mute yung ibang hindi.
Please mute everyone. Everyone mute para isa-isa naman kayo
kasama sa
i-recognize.
estratehiya nila yung
Everyone mute. Henry, pakimute.
Radyo po eh. Oh.
Detalye, hihiling na mapauwi ng maaga.
Henry, mute ka.
Yun, there you go.
Yan. Okay, next. Jason.
Yes, attorney. First question po, may I ask po kung ano yung reaction ni Vice President Sara Duterte sa overwhelming support
Ano ka? Hindi ka malinaw. Hindi ka malinaw, Jason.
ng Pilipinas at maging yung mga OFWs ay
Type na lang niya po sa chat.
Type na lang yung
Jason, garbled ka. Hindi kita maintindihan. Okay? Pakis-type na lang yung question mo. Next, sinong nakataas ng kamay?
Sir, ako po. Andy sa GMA. Andy Peñaperta, sir, sa GMA News Online,
go
sir.
ahead, Andy.
Sir, I have two questions, sir. Nung nakita po natin si VP Sara, nirelay po niya ang message ni dating Pangulong Duterte. Ang sinabi po sa kanya ni dating Pangulo, there will be a day of reckoning. Na-explain po ba sa inyo ni dating Pangulo ang ibig sabihin niya na to, a day of reckoning? And second question po, sir, bilang counsel po ni dating Pangulong Duterte, mabibigyan din po ba kayo ng information kung meron pong mga warrants na lalabas kay Senator De La Rosa, kay former PNP Chief Albayalde, tsaka sa iba pong mga linked sa killings? If yes, meron po bang warrants na may issue?
Okay. Unang-una, lilinawin ko sa inyo to ha. Sa mga abogado, tumataas ang balahibo namin pag tinatawag nyo na kaming legal counsel sa ICC. Ako, I can say I'm legal counsel for the President kasi I have given advice to the President on ICC matters. But I have not yet been officially recognized by the court as counsel. Kaya nga, medyo ingat-ingat lang tayo. But ako, walang doubts. I can claim to be counsel dahil talaga nung consistently ina-advise ko si Presidente even before, years ago pa, on ICC matters. No? Pero lilinawin ko po, hindi pa approve ng hukuman. Hindi pa kinikilala kami ng hukuman. Si Secretary Medialdea pala ang kinikilala. No? Pangalawa po is, siyempre po, wala pa akong access kay Presidente. So hindi ko po alam kung anong exactly ang ibig sabihin niya. Pero tingin ko naman, using common meaning of every there will be a time of reckoning, yun pong common meaning po nun is magkakaroon din ng paghusga sa mga pangyayari ngayon. Okay? Tinranslate ko lang siya kung ano yung there is a time for reckoning. Okay? Question ho?
Oo. Kayo po ay binabanggit po ninyo na nagpasok kayo ng medicines. Ano po ba yung sakit ng dating Pangulo?
Again, hindi po ako nagpasok. Iniwan po namin sa prison facility.
Okay.
Hindi po ako nakapasok. Okay? Iniwan lang po. Okay? Kasama yung sinyelas na rin-request siya at saka medyas. At ang medyas na binigay namin ay yung colorful na medyas pa. Okay? Now, so having said that, anong mga gamot ng Pangulo? That's covered by the right to privacy. Okay? He may be president, but he doesn't have to broadcast to the world his medical condition. That's considered absolutely private information.
But he has been deemed as fit by the doctors inside, no? So hindi naman po serious.
I'm sorry, again, you're not precise. He was deemed fit to appear. But it was also deemed fit that he will only appear by video. Malinaw po yun. Malinaw po yun. Kaya nga hindi na siya pina-appear. Okay? But his deemed fit is only for purposes of appearance. By video. Okay? So that says a lot, I think. That says a lot already. Okay? Next is Jason Rubrico. Subukan mo ulit, Jason.
Attorney, hello po. Mas klaro na, Attorney?
Yes.
Yes po. Attorney, kanina, may we know the reaction of Vice President Sara Duterte doon po sa overwhelming support na ipinapakita ng taong bayan. Yesterday, sunod-sunod yung mga prayer rallies, not just here in the Philippines, but also across the globe po, mga OFWs na nagpakita ng suporta kay dating Pangulo Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Nako, talaga naman pong nakakahabag sa damdamin ni VP Duterte, yung napakalakas na suporta na pinapakita ng mga kapwa Pilipino natin, hindi lang dito sa Dahig, kundi sa buong daigdig. I can confirm that the VP, being of her generation, is always online. Siya pa nga nagbigay sa akin ng unlimited data, no, from an eSIM, which is very powerful. She is forever grateful for everyone for showing their support to the President. And yan po nagbibigay ng lakas, hindi lang sa kanya, kundi sa buong pamilya, na malalampasan din ni Presidente Duterte itong pagsubok na ito.
Attorney, usap-usapan po online yung paggamit ng litrato ng mga yumaong individual ng makakaliwang grupo sa EJK rally. At isa na nga rito yung doktor na pumalag dahil ginamit po yung litrato ng kanyang yumaong ama na di umano'y nasawi dahil dito sa extrajudicial killing. Pero yun nga, pumalag sila dito. Marami rin na ibang mga individual ang pumalag sa paggamit ng mga litrato. Nakaabot ba ito kay Vice President Sara Duterte? And you, Attorney, ano po yung reaction niyo dito?
As I said, mas bata si VP Sara sa akin, mas teki yan. In fact, siya lahat ang nag-ayos ng aking communication requirements, no? Including my eSIM, no? Kaya malakas ngayon ang aking Wi-Fi, no? So alam po niya yan, she's forever grateful. Pagdating doon sa mga fake news, ang aking payo lang sa publiko, mag-ingat po tayo sa fake news, at kaya nga natin gagawin na itong regular press briefing nang wala na pong hindi pagkakaintindihan dahil sa fake news, no? At kaya ko rin po hiningi na magsama-sama na tayo dito sa isang GC at isa na lang briefing dahil we are terribly undermined po. Ang nandito pa lang ako, E.S. Medaldea, VP Sara, and Robin Padilla. So between the welfare of the president and the legal requirements, and then Hoffman, no? You can appreciate na talagang we are really undermanned right now, no? So I ask for your indulgence, talagang dito tayo mag-uusap. Okay? So wala na?
Sure.
Oh yes, then.
Just to clarify yung composition ng legal team, we were also informed na kailangan ang mga miyembro ng legal team. Sabi nyo nga, di ba, ICC accredited. So, paano nagawa ko?
Unang-una, it's not an absolute rule. But of course, it's the caveat of the client, of the accused. Because international criminal law is not only a branch of international law, it's a further subspecialty of international law. And unless you have specialized training and experience in this field, talagang everything will be Greek to you. It's not enough that you're a Philippine lawyer and appear, although there is no disqualification. Kaya nga, hindi ko alam kung nagawa na ito ng registry eh. Kasi si ES naman kasi kasama niya sa eroplano. No? But the very first thing that the registrar will ask the accused to do is, here is the list of 200 lawyers accredited by the List Council. And the criteria, a single criteria is proven competence in the field of international law. Okay? So, you may hire lawyers outside of the list subject to the caveat that it's a specialized field of international law.
Okay. Kasi po yung nabanggit nyo, halimbawa, si VP Sara, hoping also to be accredited also by the ICC, tama ba? Or just to be recognized as a lawyer?
It's not a requirement to represent that you're part of the list, but of course, if you're going to ask the court who should represent you, they prefer that you choose someone from the list kasi nga may proven competence in the field of international criminal law. Ulitin ko po ha, kung mag-a-apply si VP Sara, it's only because she needs access to the president. And as a family member, mukhang every visit requires communication with the detention facility.
So just to be clarified, para hindi po kami magkamali, so we will say na parang nagpapalista siya as a legal counsel of the president, not ICC.
No,
CBP.
legal counsel of the president. To give her a counsel's access to an accused while under detention.
And one last,
bettered, no, na hindi po pwedeng pagbawalan. Samantalang ang magbisita ng pamilya ay subject to restrictions.
Okay, kayo sir, di ba, nagpapa-add kayo as ICC legal counsel?
Yes, dahil nasa list naman talaga ako. Okay?
Okay. let me just take this opportunity, sir, kasi yung mga victims' family are saying they're being trolled by the Duterte supporters, and sabi ng kanilang counsel, it will help the case and it will affect yung case ni dating Pangulo. Reaction nyo lang po doon.
Wala po akong reaction doon dahil hindi ko naman alam kung tinotroll sila eh. Hindi ko alam kung sino sila. Malalaman pa lang po namin kung sino sila kapag reveal na ng prosecution. Kaya nga po, sa lalong mabilis na panahon, dapat magbuo na itong legal team kasi magsisimula na po yung proseso ng discovery. Sa
But
ngayon po, iba po ang sistema ng ICC, hindi gaya sa Pilipinas na may preliminary investigation, magsasubmit ng complaint affidavit at counter affidavits. Dito po wala. Everything was done unilaterally by the prosecution, and it is only now that we will find out kung anong basihan. Pero I have this as an observation. Akala ko ba libo-libo ang sinasabi nilang pinatay kaya naging crimes against humanity? Nagulat na lang ako na 43 ang sinasabi nila, no? Nasaan yung libo-libong sinasabi nila, no? At paulit-ulit naman nilang sinasabi yan na pinapatay daw ng Pangulo, di umano ang libo-libong tao. Pero nung binasa naman yung akusasyon kay Presidente, ang binanggit 43. Over a period of 8 years, no? So 43 divided by 8, how many is that?
Okay. But we don't encourage attacking or trolling anybody from any side.
Well, what I can say is that we have freedom of expression. Let a million flowers bloom. After all, the true test of truth is the power of an idea to be accepted in the free marketplace of ideas. Okay? Yes, si Gretchen.
Tama po kayo, no, yung 43. But the lawyers are saying that this is a representative sample, and also when it comes to the war on drugs involving law enforcement, mahirap mag-build ng case. So dahil na rin yung mismong police ang involved dun sa collecting of evidence. So, hindi naman sa pero yung 43, hindi po ba ganun naman talaga sa korte na pipili lang talaga ng mga strongest cases to present before the chamber?
You know, I'm speaking as an academic and as a lawyer, not as counsel. Crimes against humanity, widespread and systematic attack against civilian populations, knowing that it is being directed by civilian populations. Next is the propaganda of the complainants. Libo-libo raw sila. Pero ba ngayon, lumalabas 43. I leave it at that. It speaks for itself.
Pwede ko po itanong lang din itong sa Rome Statute Article 59 po na nabanggit ninyo. Doon sa press con po natin sa labas, you also mentioned a South African case. Pwede
Yes.
po bang malaman kung anong case po yun? Yung tinitignan po ninyo?
Ibrahim versus Minister. A decision of the Constitutional Court of South Africa.
Ano po na?
Mayroong isang apartheid leader, kinidnap nila sa ibang bansa, dinala sa South Africa. Ang tanong, yung pangingidnap ba, dapat bang maging dahilan na mawalan ng jurisdiction ang hukuman? Ang sagot ng South Africa Constitutional Court, yes, because you cannot right a wrong by committing another wrong. And that the legality of the arrest by which jurisdiction was acquired over the person of the accused should be reason enough to divest the court of jurisdiction to continue hearing the case.
Okay.
Ibrahim versus Minister.
Final question po, no. Dito po sa mga visitation rights ng dating Pangulo, sino-sino po yung allowed? At si Senator Robin Padilla, ano po yung kanyang grounds kasi hindi po siya official family member?
Siya po ay presidente ng PDP Laban at sa gitna po tayo ngayon ng isang halalan. Kaya po talaga siya naririto, hihingi siya ng instruction kay Presidente kung anong gagawin sa kampanya ng PDP Laban. And I think that's a valid reason for him to be allowed to see the President, being the chairman of PDP Laban. Siyempre, ang mensahe naman ng Presidente, vote straight PDP Laban.
Sir, just a clarification.
Yes.
Okay na po, sir. Sir, just a clarification dun sa qualification. Sir, si Maris.
Maris, okay, Maris.
Okay. Sir, si Maris. Just a clarification, enlighten us, especially me as a layman. Sir, kapag halimbawa magre-represent kayo sa presidente sa ICC, you don't need any additional license. As long as you have the expertise on international law, that would be enough as a qualification to represent the former president.
That's not accurate.
Okay,
You
can
cannot
enlighten
know
us, sir.
anything about international law, and you can still represent the president if you're a member of a bar. Pero how will you know what they're talking about if you're completely clueless about international law? So it's not a bar. It's just that the registry maintains the list kasi nga proven competence in international law ang requirement to be in the list, no? So at least if the accused will choose from the list counsel, there's at least the assurance that he's been pre-screened to know what he will be talking about as counsel before the ICC.
National councils to represent, and you will be applying for that. You don't need
It's not a
any
requirement
other.
that you be in the list council. But there are rights of list council members, of course, na they may not be able to avail kasi meron kaming advocate in the court. So for instance, no, if I feel I'm not being accorded the right to visitation, then we can complain to our advocate and it can be sent to the court and acted upon. It works as a bar association. So it represents the lawyers appearing before the ICC. Specifically, the concerns on parity of arms. Kasi talagang lahat ng karapatan binibigay lang nila sa prosecution.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so okay na si Gretchen, okay na si Jason. I have no further questions.
Okay.
Sir, this is Joe Feltesorio from correspondent of ABS-CBN. Yung question ko lang, you said that restricted kasi yung access ng family. In your experience, how long did it take you to get access to ex-President Duterte? And darating po yung pamilya ni ex-President Duterte in the coming days. So how will it go when it comes to getting
all
access?
visits to the detainees are limited to 1 hour. And all are subject to approval if you are family. Kaya nga importante sa amin as lawyers to be accredited kasi we don't need their approval. Kailangan pa rin actually ng approval kasi si E.S. Medellea cannot go in and out, no? He also has to notify them when he wants to come, no? Pero they have more counsels, of course, accredited and recognized counsels by the court know that the right to counsel is one of the basic and fundamental right of all accused in the ICC.
And then follow-up lang po, yung 1 hour na visit na yan, how long did it take you to get the permission?
Si E.S. Medellea yun, no? Si E.S. Medellea kasi, as the accompanying lawyer, was recognized as early as possible as lawyer, no? So siya naman, he filed it the day before. And he was only notified on the day itself na pwede na siyang pumunta. So mabilisan because otherwise, hindi matutuloy yung proceedings na walang counsel na present si Presidente Duterte, no? So they also had to make sure that the president was represented by counsel on the first hearing.
Yung kay Vice President Sara po.
Kay Vice President Sara, okay, final niya on that same morning. It was not officially approved, but she was promised that as next of kin, they will make it happen after the hearing. Kasi medyo siyempre nairita ako nung nalaman ko na hindi nila pinayagan. Nagsalita nga ako remember? Nagsalita ako outside of the court na this is a travesty of justice. No? This does not speak well of international criminal justice na yung next of kin hindi pa nakikita yung akusado. So actually, it was an accommodation to the Vice President. And I also demanded that the protocol officer of the court should arrange that an incumbent Vice President should visit under detention. So it's a combination of protocol, combination of pressure. Pero as you can see, hindi rin approve yung application ni VP Sara as family member to visit this weekend. And I do not, and as of now, wait, let me check. Okay, as of now, wala rin siya approval to visit together with E.S. Medellea. E.S. Medellea requested that the Vice President and Kaufman be allowed to visit with him. Wala pa rin siyang approval. And the time now is 8:38. I don't think it will happen. I think it will be E.S. Medellea again, alone, who will have access to the President. Okay?
Hello, sir.
Oh, meron
Yes.
pa ba? Haba na
Yes.
nito.
Hello, sir.
Oh, ano?
Last question from me. Sir, meron po ba tayong information kung papayagan po magkaroon ng get-together doon sa harapan ng visiting area ng penitentiary doon sa nalapit na kaarawan po ng dating Pangulo, March 28? Tsaka sir, yung ano ko po kanina, kung maaprubahan po kayo bilang legal counsel, magkakaroon din po ba kayo ng information regarding other new warrants laban kina doon po sa adong linked to killings?
Yes, that's part of discovery. Now, although I will state for the record that even before this case, the warrant of arrest was issued, I was already acting as counsel for Senator Bato and 4 other former PNP chiefs, including, I will not mention their names anymore, okay? But 4 other PNP chiefs who could possibly be named also as co-accused in this case. Remember, the term is co-perpetrator, which to me is also very intriguing because it's the first time I heard that designation as co-perpetrator, because you're either a perpetrator, a co-conspirator, but it's curious that the warrant of arrest said he is a co-perpetrator. So there could be other co-perpetrators.
And sir, may information po ba kung papayagan po ang gathering sa harapan ng penitentiary sa nalalapit na birthday ni dating Pangulong Duterte?
Pag dumating sa birthday, magkakaroon talaga ng pagtipon-tipon. Meron ng permit, meron ng venue. Ang problema, naghahanap kami ng mas malaking venue kasi 500 lang daw ma-accommodate ang venue. Meron pong pagtipon-tipon sa 23 ng buwan na ito na dadaluhan ng mga taga-Europa. No? Naghahanap lang kami ng mas malaking venue kasi na-approve ang venue can only accommodate 500. Now, as to the birthday of the 28th, susubukan pong kumuha ng permit kasi dito naman very liberal po sila sa mga pagtitipon. In fact, yung pagtitipon na ginawa natin sa labas ng hukuman, walang permit yun, pero pinayagan naman with police supervision.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have to begin the day. And I will give you notice if E.S. Medelea will be able to make a statement today, just to brief you on what happened during his meeting, and if VP Sara would like to address to you today, okay?
Thank you, Secretary.
Via Zoom po rin yun.
By Zoom din tayo. Wala kaming facility ngayon dito, no? But if I move into that Airbnb, that can also be our base, okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless. Ingat po.